On this week's show, we talk about all the little news that has come out over the last week. So we're kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel here on the Inside Infinity Podcast, episode number 107. All right, everybody, and welcome to the Inside Infinity Podcast, episode number 107. This is going to be the Double L show. Lloyd and Lem are here to talk about the week's Infinity news. Lem, Philia, how the heck have you been, my friends?
Fan-freaking-tastic. I'm a little tired.
You have a bow tie. Is this a formal occasion?
This is a formal occasion. Did you not get the memo?
Oh, yeah, I did. Here, just give me a second here.
Thank you.
Oh, gotta put on. Ah, okay, there we go.
There you go. Looking good, my friend.
With my University of Manitoba t-shirt with a nice bow tie. I'm styling, man.
I take you out.
Awesome. So it's been a while since we've last talked. How have you been?
I'm doing really good. Been playing lots of Infinity.
Good man. You've been playing it at breakfast time.
Breakfast with the Bad Gamer. Almost every day last week, and I did something a little different this week for Monday. But every day last week, been up anywhere between 5:30 and 6, playing different toy boxes, playing play sets. And occasionally I'll come home for lunch and play with Bad Gamer Jr. We'll do the Inside Out playset because he really enjoys that.
Nice. That's awesome. Awesome. So, you're which time zones for the people that are watching if they want to catch you?
I am Central Standard Time. So if you're up, if you're up and you're have nothing better to do, come on over, hang out. I do interact. We talk. We get suggestions. I get helped through a lot of stuff. A couple of people watch me build for the character challenge.
Nice, that's awesome.
Yeah, the interior design squad entered. So
nice
that I'm part of because there's no way I could do a toy box by myself.
So you're hanging out with a bunch of people. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, before we get into the rest of the show, after saying hello to Lem, I want to say hello to the chat room. We got a bunch of people checking us out. I tried to combine two words. That doesn't work. I'm doing my best Will impression, apparently, getting words wrong as I talk. So we got in the chat room, we got Boondoggle Man, Captain Disney, Full of Gunk, German Bold Italic. Will likes that name. Janilom 81, John Vignacchi, Latin Soul 127, Putz 2000, Tesla Blitz, Romulus, the Papa Echo, and
what's up?
Zirin Macex in the chat room checking us out.
I think that's Ryan Mack. He's just putting stars by his name.
Oh, you are right. There you go. Yeah, I'm not with it today. I'm a little bit tired checking out, playing some Disney Infinity, playing some other things. It's been great. And this is a non-standard, Full of Gunk in the chat room is saying, no technical difficulties yet. Need to do a better job if I want to be like Will. That is true. I need to do a little bit better. But since Will and Jason both can't be here today, we couldn't go an episode without a little message from Jason Haynes. So I thought we'd do that. Good day, listeners. That's it. That's all I could do. I got one of these sweet things from Stephen Krellin. Sent me one of the great Jason Haynes masks. So I could do the whole show like this, but I creep myself out when I put this over my face.
That's creepy.
I could stick it in my bow tie, so he's like hanging out behind me, watching me as I do my show.
Don't do that.
Jason,
like
where's Jason? Yeah. Awesome. Well, let's jump right into the show as we're going to do here. It's been a very, very light news week, unfortunately. I haven't I don't know. I have a feeling that something big is coming. There's been some people posting some of the Disney Speedway teaser stuff. So I guess some stores have released them early. So I'm thinking that there's going to be a bunch of news coming. Captain Disney says that was a mashup of British and Australian. Yeah, I'm apparently really bad at doing different dialects. I guess it's not even a dialect, just accents. So yeah, I do apologize, but I had to show off the Jason. It's just two-headed.
Well,
this is Team Jelly right here. Remember our Team Jelly cast right here? Team Jelly right here.
Right. Woohoo!
Anyway, I have a feeling that there's going to be a bunch of news coming up over the next little bit. But yeah, that's right. There's this Saturday there's going to be an announcement of the Disney toy box, the Battlegrounds playset. So that's going to be kind of the first big boom of news, I think, after kind of the release. Like we kind of know everything right now, but there's a lot of unknowns for stuff that's coming in the future. So Battlegrounds is coming out from New York Comic Con, so we're going to get some news on that. I have a feeling that that's when the Speedway, we're going to get kind of a better idea of all that stuff. Once some more people get their hands on it, they're able to play through it. So yeah, hopefully.
Didn't Allison do an unboxing of Speedway today?
Could be. I was in meetings the whole entire day.
I think at least she posted that they were going to do one.
Nice. So
yeah.
So maybe that's right. Maybe that's why there's stores that are getting it a little bit early and releasing it, which is really cool. So yeah, let's jump right into the news. As I said, we're very, 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 very limited on the news today. So I think we'll cover the two items first, and then maybe we can talk about some 3.0 with you, Lem.
Yeah, sounds great.
All right, so our first news item comes over from our friends over at the Infinity Inquirer. This one isn't going to make, I don't know, this isn't going to matter much to anybody out there right now because this is a one-day sale that's happening. But I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Best Buy, it has their deal of the day. And today's deal of the day is the Disney Infinity Marvel Superheroes Starter Pack. They have them on... what is it? Xbox One, Xbox 360, PS4, PS3,
Wii U,
and Wii U, and Wii, I guess. Like all of the ones that they still have, they were blowing them out for $20, which is great because it's a savings $55. But this is a one-day sale, so if you're not buying it today, which is Monday the 5th. I'm good at dates. If you're not buying it today, if you're not watching us live, that probably is going to make much difference to you. You're going to be like, well, I've already missed it. Too bad. Who cares? But the reason why I'm bringing it up today is I've seen this type of sale in a lot of different areas. I've seen some Amazon sellers kind of drop the price really quick. I've seen some local Canadian retailers that have been blowing it out at $25, which with our weak dollar is about $20. It's either $25 or $29 in various places. So if you've been holding off on maybe buying, say if you played on Xbox 360 last generation, but you bought the Xbox One version of Disney Infinity 3.0, or vice versa, if you're on the PlayStation side and you were playing PS3 and you bought PS4 this time, $20 is a really great price to kind of get another chunk of content. You could play your old play sets, level up your old characters, do all that fun stuff on a new console, because I do know there's a lot of people that have kind of maybe jumped platforms or at least jumped up a generation from 2.0 to 3.0.
The other thing about this is if you're part of the Best Buy Gamers Club, you can actually get $4 off of that. So that puts it down to $16, which when you think about it, you've got two of the Asgard and the Escape from the Kiln.
Yep.
You know, you got those two discs and 3 figures in there. A lot of the people in the circles I run around on Instagram are custom artists.
Sure.
And that's a perfect bundle for a custom artist. Or if you want to start playing around with custom figures, spend $20 or $16 if you're a gamers club.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous price. I kind of did the same thing with last generation. I bought some extra starter sets of 1.0 when 2.0 came out, just so the kids would have it on their console so they could play it. So I might have to do that with 2.0 as well, because I I had mine on the PlayStation 4. In their little game area, they have a Wii U and a PlayStation 3. So maybe pick up one of the old ones for right now, so they could still tool around with that when the TV is taken up with me watching hockey, which is kind of what it is used for this time of year. So keep your eyes open for these crazy sales. As we get closer to Black Friday, you know that there's going to be a lot of sales blowing out old stock because there's probably going to be a lot of deals on Black Friday for the Disney 3.0 stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, cool. So that's our first story. And the next one was something, it was kind of fun that I found. This is Paste Magazine. They're a fairly popular online kind of magazine thing. They have their own radio network where they stream radio and do all this fun stuff. And I've seen a couple articles there, usually not gaming stuff. Usually it's more around TV and movies and things like that. But I found this article today, and excuse me, and I thought it was really funny. So one of their editors over there, Garrett Martin, is ranking all of the Star Wars characters from utility, coolness, all that fun stuff. So I thought we'd go through it really quickly because there's really nothing else to talk about this week. So number 14 is the unranked category for Boba Fett, because that he's not generally available. Only if you bought the deluxe edition on the PlayStation side of things did you get Boba Fett. So unranked for right now, Boba Fett. But we go up to number 13, Kanan Jarrus, unfortunately. Kanan. I say Kanan all the time because when I read it initially, that's how I read it in my head. And then even though I've watched the TV and all that stuff, I always say Kanan. I know it's Kanan. He comes in at number 13.
Will's not here, so somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, someone has to get it wrong. That's right. Except it's not Maleficent. So, but anyway, Kanan comes in at number 13, which is kind of terrible because that's the last place on this list. And basically he's number 13 because he's the most uninteresting of all the Jedis, which is actually kind of true. If you've watched all the Star Wars, Clone Wars, and the Star Wars Rebels stuff, Kanan is kind of the least interesting to me personally. So this kind of rang true with me. He's actually the one figure that I've used the least of all the 3.0 characters. And I know there's probably going to be a lot of people in the chat room that are going to disagree with me. Latin Soul says I'm Canadian, so that's okay. So thank you, Latin Soul. So number 13, Kanan Jarrus. Number 12 is Ezra Bridger. I disagree with this one because he's one of my favorite characters. He's right up in my top 5, I would think.
I didn't pick him up yet. It was between him and Kanan, and I ended up picking up Kanan because I didn't have Luke yet, and people were telling me that Kanan plays a lot like Luke.
For sure. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the character. I like Rebels, so I think it's more I like this character because I like him on the show. He's kind of a brat and whiny and stuff, so he's kind of a really great character. So number 12 is Ezra. Number 11 is Chewbacca. Can't really disagree with that. I'm not enjoying my time with Chewbacca that much.
I was this close to picking him up today.
He's not a Jedi, so immediately he's someone that I want to use less out of all the characters that I have because I love the Jedi powers. I love the super leaps. I love the force push or pull. So I can't disagree with that. He'd probably be near my bottom if I had to rank them personally.
How does the bowcaster work out? I mean, I used to make a geek moment here. A little nerd moment. I used to play violin.
Okay.
And, the music stands that fold up.
Yeah.
I would actually make a crossbow out of that. I'd put a little rubber band in there.
Nice.
And make a crossbow. And so I saw Chewbacca. I was like, oh, I might want to get Chewbacca just because of the crossbow.
I made a wooden elastic launcher that was looked exactly like his crossbow. I spray painted it black and did all that fun stuff as kids. So I hear you. I'm the exact same as you. I had one of those 18-inch Chewbacca figures that had the bandolier with all the little things. I was a huge Chewbacca fan, which is why I'm surprised that I'm not using him as much in this game.
Huh.
Yeah. Number 10, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, sure. He's Obi-Wan. He's just kind of there.
Yeah.
nothing else to say about that. Number 9 is Han Solo. He's a great character. I love his figure. I love his design. But he's not a Jedi, so I play with him less than I would probably otherwise if he had Jedi powers. So maybe they can patch in Jedi powers. He'll find some. He'll take instead of energy drinks like Red Bull, they have like Metachlorian Bull, and they drink it and they get a little bit of Force powers. That would be good.
Metachlorian Bull. That's awesome.
Yeah, gives you the Force. But yeah, Han Solo is number 9 on that list. Anakin is number 8. Sure. That's we're getting close. We're getting close to the top, so it's kind of a middling character, so that kind of makes sense to me. Number 7 is Leia Organa. I like Leia. My daughter loves Leia, and that's the only character. Actually, that's a lie. It's not the only character she'll play with. She'll play with Sabine, and she'll play with Leia, which is great because those are 2 of my favorite characters as well. So yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Did you see the slave Leia today?
Yeah, you posted the mod that someone did, the custom one.
Ganda Chris.
Yeah, it looks really good.
A great slave Leia.
Yeah.
And I hear that was made for somebody we know. I'm not saying who yet, but
interesting.
I hear that was made for somebody we know.
Very cool. Okay, number 6, Zeb Aurelius. I like Zeb. I love him in the cartoon, and I like playing with him as well because he has the wall climb ability. So I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and I get kind of my Spider-Man on when I play with him, so I can kind of climb up buildings and various things like that. So I kind of like it. I like him. I like his weapon as well. He seems faster and less I don't know, like he's running in tar than Chewbacca. Chewbacca just seems kind of slow in this game a little bit. He's not any slower, but I guess it's the animation or whatever. Zeb just seems like he's a little bit quicker. We'll get into the top 5. Number 5 is Luke. Sure, I love his just the design of the Luke figure. Number 4 is Sabine Wren.
She's really number 4.
Yeah, she's like my number 2. I love her. I love her playing with her in the game. Darth Vader is number 3. Not a fan of Darth Vader as number 3. Maybe a number 5 or number 6. He's too slow for me. And I don't know. I expected him to be like this crazy. I expected him to be kind of like Yoda, where he'd just be kind of like fast and agile, but he never showed that in any of the movies. So I don't know why I had that preconceived notion that would happen. But yeah, number 3, Darth Vader. Number 2 is Yoda. Sure. He'd probably be my number 3, I would guess, because Sabine would be my number 1. Yeah, Janelom is saying the Force throw is awesome. I do agree with that. I like his special power. So you do your combo and then you hold the button to do your finisher, and his finisher is a Force choke. So he just picks up a guy and you just keep choking him, and you just see the life kind of drain out of him. I thought that was a nice touch. But when you're fighting with a lot of enemies, it's not that great because other enemies can kind of take advantage of that while you're kind of locked in that pose doing the Force choke. And of course, number 1, which I fully agree with, Ahsoka. I'm a huge fan of this figure. In fact, when you were doing DITV team members and their favorite character, she's the one that I picked as my character. I love her. She was great in the cartoon. She's great in the game. She's fast. She's agile. She's exactly what I expected a Jedi to be in this game. Really love playing with her.
After Korra, if I had to get into just Star Wars, I would definitely say it's between Sabine and Ahsoka for me.
Sure, Korra is great too because again, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
be able to spin through the air on a web-like whip thing. I really dig that.
Like I said before, she's the closest thing I'm going to get to Deadpool in this game. So.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, so that was kind of a fun little article. Apparently, they're going to be doing they have an ongoing attempt to rank every character release for Disney Infinity. So the first chunk is going to be the Star Wars characters, but I guess they're going to be going in and putting in kind of the 1.0 stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's something to keep an eye on then.
yeah, so they're
Sure.
gonna have all the Disney Infinity characters at one point, all kind of ranked. It's I don't know if they're gonna actually include stuff from 2.0 and 1.0. 3.0 has like an unfair advantage, like all the Jedi stuff and all the extra powers that the 3.0 characters have. It's gonna be
Yeah.
kind of tough to kind of get to the top of the list with a 1.0 or 2.0 character, but yeah, I know. I'm digging this. I'm gonna keep some tabs on this one because I don't know. Lists are fun online when they're not lists of this is the worst thing, and then I'm gonna give you my top 5 worst things. This is actually kind of fun, so it's pretty cool. Do you have a link for this ranking? I'll paste it in the chat room. Latin Soul, so you can take a peek at it. But yeah, it's over at pastemagazine.com, and if you just go to their gaming section, you'll be able to see the Star Wars figure ranking with the assumption, because they say at the bottom that they're going to be going through all the other characters as well. So pretty interesting. They've even reviewed the game and stuff like that, so they are doing some nice coverage on Disney Infinity 3.0. All right, Lem, before we move on, do you have anything to add before we get into kind of our 3.0 discussion?
No, I think we can jump right in.
All right, well, let's do that. We've been blabbing on for about 20 minutes. So this is going to be a short show, as we said, but we thought it was important to have Lem on today to kind of, I don't know, give us your thoughts on 3.0. Like, I know you've been playing a lot of it because you've been streaming a lot of it. So like coming from 2.0 to 3.0, kind of what was your kind of thought? Like you obviously had expectations. Did this game
Yes.
Exceed them or meet them or not come close?
I would say that when I first picked up this game, I didn't know what to quite expect. You know, I knew there was a lot going in, and you know, being part of Disney Infinity TV is tough for me because, like with movies and video games, I'll watch a trailer and then I don't want to see anything else. I want to be surprised.
Sure.
So when you guys were streaming, like if you were going into game and like actual gameplay, I'm like, I'm out. I gotta go.
I remember seeing that a couple times. The chat room was like, okay, I'm out. I was like, oh, all right, see you, Lem.
But the opening sequence, I absolutely loved. As a matter of fact, I loved it so much that when it showed up on my iOS, I was like, yes, I get to watch the opening sequence again.
Get to do it again.
Because it was really good. I'm a big storyteller. I love stories. And the hub, I still haven't done everything in the hub.
The hub is huge. I had to take the bow tie off, so I put it on my microphone. You can't really see it though. It's digging in my neck, so it's no good. The hub is absolutely huge, and to me, I agree with you that was kind of my biggest. Like, I streamed 8 hours of the hub on day one, like, or 7 hours, something ridiculous, and I didn't finish all the stuff in the hub. It is absolutely enormous, which. To me personally, having some friends and family that play the game, people that know that I talk about the game and stream the game and do all that stuff, the biggest thing to me for complaints in 2.0 is like, well, what do we do? It's like, well, you do whatever you want. Well, no, what do we do? Well, you put a thing down and do what you want, but like, can it guide me? Can it, is there instructions? Is there like a walkthrough? It's like, well, there was that intro movie, and like, yeah, but we beat that in like 30 seconds. It's like, okay, well, no, you can just go. You can go to the toy box. You can download toy boxes. You can put on a playset piece. You can have your own fun. And there was kind of like a hesitation, like almost like they wanted someone to hold their hand to bring them through the game. The hub is exactly that. It teaches you, and I know, like, a friend of mine at work, his kids have never left the hub. All they've done is explore the hub, play in the hub. They love the Ewok village tree forts, and they play in that for hours. And I'm like, you know, there's a treehouse creator, and you could just drop it down, and they'll make your own endless Ewok forest. And like, no, they're happy playing the hub. It's like, all right, whatever. It's your own fun. It's your game. You have your fun however you want. But to me, that was the biggest aha moment with 3.0, where it's like, I know how I can explain this to my friends now. There'll be no more confusion. It's like, jump in the hub, make sure everything is colored, and you've learned all the 6 main components of this game. If there's a white section that is kind of grayed out, you know you haven't done that yet. So go do stuff there, and then you'll learn what this game can kind of give you, which I thought was really, really powerful. coming from someone that talks about it enough every day.
Full of Gunk says that he spent about 5 hours looking for surprise gifts.
Yeah, true. There's a new surprise gift waiting for you in the Adventure Hub. It's like, oh, where? It's like the darn Cheshire Cat. I haven't found him yet. It's like, where are you, dude?
I start that and I run away. I'm like, I'm not looking for you.
Yeah, it's annoying. But yeah, the hub. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump all over you. So continue.
Oh no, that's okay. I haven't done everything in the hub, but I spent a lot. I'd say my first week, farming, and just figuring out farming. And I have a crop. I have my own farm, and so I can go in and do my crops and everything like that. And I absolutely positively love farming. It's the only thing that I have a problem with, and I was so excited to get iOS. I think we talked about this at one point. Mm-hmm. I was so excited to get iOS so I could farm on the go.
Yeah.
And I can't farm on the go.
No, that's what I kind of talked about last week with Will. That was one thing that I was really, really, really hoping for. That stuff that you grow and farm would transfer back to your console version, which unfortunately isn't the case, which is kind of a missed opportunity in my eyes anyway.
Yes, absolutely. But it's fun. Don't get me wrong. It's still fun. I've enjoyed the play sets. I actually finished a play set.
What?
I didn't complete it, but I finished it. I finished the story.
That's awesome.
In the Twilight of the Republic.
Sure.
And I was like, oh yeah, I finished the story. Why are there so many exclamation points?
Yeah, you finish the story if you just did the story missions, that's probably about 10 or 15% of the actual content in the playset. There's so many missions, and there's darn Minox flying everywhere that you have to go hunt down and shoot down. There's a lot of stuff in each of these playsets.
Breakfast with the Bad Gamer, you will hear me say, Minox! Gotta go get the Minox.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
So the play sets are great. I've been enjoying that. I haven't finished the Rising Against the Empire yet, though.
Okay, yeah, that is a really big play set as well. There's lots to do. Plus all the really huge set pieces from the movie. It's so much fun. Like I just wanna like tow rope down AT-ATs all day. Like that's kind of all I want to do. It's so much fun. So what did I saw an article today on, I can't remember which blog it was, I'll have to dig it up, where someone was really disappointed with the changes that Disney made to the Star Wars story, saying you took a story that was beloved and you changed it. And I'm thinking to myself, like I talked about it last week, how powerful it was for when I was a kid, playing with toys, coming up with my own stories. It was just like, you're not limited to this 2-hour experience. It's whatever you want to make it. So Star Wars was hugely different in my house than it was in the movies, because I was making my own fun. I was having these attacks, and Darth Vader was a good guy for a while, and like all this crazy stuff that you do when you're a kid. And that's exactly what this playset was to me. It was like a retelling of the story in kind of a way that I would have done as a kid, because I loved Han Solo and Chewbacca. And you better believe that when Luke was rescuing Leia, they were both there right from the start. Or even when Leia was sending the droids down to Tatooine, they were all there because they were one big happy family, right? And that was kind of what this playset was. So did that bother you at all? No,
not in the slightest. I am not a Star Wars purist.
Yep.
And that, love me or hate me for it, but I'm not in this. I've learned through lots of comic books, there's different realities. And this is just a different reality where they were all together to begin with, and that's the imagination. And I always picture the narrator is a kid playing with the toys.
Mm.
And these are his stories that we're playing.
Sure. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, that kind of makes sense.
You know,
He's that annoying kid down the block.
Because he's telling you what to do. Because he's anybody that's played with a kid. Okay, we're gonna pretend that this happens.
And you do something. It's like, no, that didn't happen.
No.
Okay, I get that. I get that. That makes sense. Cool. So you've also said that you've played a fair bit of the Inside Out playset.
Yes.
With Bad Gamer Jr. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I'm going to have to play that all over again by myself. There is so much. I am not picking up all the balloons because he likes to run off and go ahead. Like, dude, we got to go back. No, we want to go this way.
Yeah.
There's so much in there. And then and I could spend hours just playing the little matching game, like the
Bejeweled Light.
Tetris. Yeah, the Bejeweled Light. Yeah, Bejeweled Light. I love those games. I downloaded the Frozen
Free Fall or whatever.
Yeah, Snowball Free Fall, whatever it is. And I actually was waiting for another game to load on my system, and the game was loaded already, and I was still playing the Frozen Light. Said, this game is ready for you to play. Okay, I'll be there in a second.
Yeah, I'll check back in a couple hours. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I played through this. Well, I didn't play through it. My daughter played through this. We were having a daddy-daughter day, and the only thing she wanted to do was play video games with me, because that's usually when she's off doing fun things. That's what I do with my son. We kind of have a video game day and kind of hang out. So she's jealous of that, even though she gets to go and do all this fun stuff with her friends and whatever. So she wanted to have a daddy-daughter day, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna go to a movie, go buy some jewelry. Do you want to go get some clothes? She's like, no, I want to play Disney Infinity with you. I was like, oh, all right, let's do that. And then we played through the Inside Out playset, or rather she played and I watched and helped her when she got stuck. But yeah, she's the exact same way. She'd get the balloon that creates the timed green balloons, and then she wouldn't go after any of the green balloons. I'm like, no, you got balloons. She's like, no, I'm just gonna go over here. But they're only there for a few seconds. Okay, I'll come back. So yeah, come to the same frustrations. I'm a completionist when I play Mario. I have to get every single coin. I don't care if I need extra men or not. If there's a coin on the screen, I'm going to grab it. And I'm the same way with this playset. I got to get every single balloon. And I'm going to have to replay it again myself to get all those. But it's a really well done platformer. I was like, at some of the preview events, people are like, oh yeah, it's like you have a little Mario platformer in your Disney Infinity. I was just like, all right, sure, believe it when I see it. And then as soon as I picked it up for the first time, I'm like, yeah, you got a Mario-like platformer inside of Disney Infinity. This is really well done. They did a really good job with that.
Yeah, which is why I'm actually pretty excited to see what Battlegrounds is all about. I'm expecting a Smash Bros, but I could be completely wrong on that. That's just my expectation. As most of you guys know, I don't own a Nintendo system. I've never owned a Nintendo system. I've played. Okay, my kids own a DS. My kids own a DS, and I'm going to borrow a DS from them. But I personally have never owned or played on a Nintendo system.
Cool.
And well, I shouldn't say never. At work, one of the guys brought in his Wii, or maybe it was the Wii U. I don't know, but he had Smash Bros.
Okay, is it the one that came with a gamepad? Is there a gamepad with it?
I don't think.
Or is it just like little white Wiimotes that you're playing with?
Yeah, he just had Wiimotes.
Okay. Yep.
But he had the new Smash Bros. So I'm thinking it might have been a Wii U without the gamepad.
Okay.
But I played that like 1 or 2 rounds. I was like, hey, this is actually pretty neat. I'm a big Marvel vs. Capcom guy.
Sure.
We went to the movies yesterday to see Hotel Transylvania 2, and they had X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Oh, I forgot that was out. I'm going to have to go see that with the kids.
Oh, it was a good movie.
Oh, awesome.
But X-Men versus Street Fighter, I sat there. I pumped like probably a few quarters into it, but I beat a lot of people. You know, I love those games, and
Sure.
so I'm excited to see what happens with it.
Yeah, it's. Do you want to maybe chat about that? Like we've talked about 3.0. Do you want to maybe give our kind of predictions for what the Battlegrounds is going to be? Like as we said earlier, they're going to be unveiling it this Sunday. Supposedly, they're going to be unveiling it this Sunday at the New York Comic Con. So you think it's going to be kind of like a Smash Brothers, just kind of a multi-tiered battler like what Smash Brothers is?
Yeah, I honestly do, and I think that what's going to make it different is you can do it online with 4 people, but you can also put 4 random characters. I hope they would put 4 random bot characters in there.
Sure, so you can play against the bots or whatever.
Yeah.
That would, I love Smash Brothers. I've played it like all the way on the N64, all the way up. I dig it. I had the most fun with the GameCube version. Even on the Wii, we played more of the GameCube version since the Wii had backwards compatibility. I would like that. That would be really cool. What I'm kind of hoping for Battlegrounds is back kind of like in, I don't know, the GameCube era and into maybe the Xbox 360 era of games. I played a lot of the kind of the brawlers. There was like the Baldur's Gate, there was Gauntlet, there was a bunch of ones where you're kind of going through it's kind of like the Kiln, except maybe this might be a better fuller featured Kiln that would be similar to like one of those like Gauntlet or Baldur's Gate, or there was some
like
dungeons.
Diablo?
Yeah, except less
Okay.
less things that you're
Less
fighting.
RPG?
Yeah, less RPG. It was just kind of going through and collecting gold and upgrading your character and stuff like that. There's been a fair number of those types of games that have Marvel characters in it. There was like there was one with the Infinity Stones that came out recently. There was a bunch that were similar to that. There's even one on iOS. I can't remember the name of it. I would love to have a full featured one of those again, because that's the type of game that really isn't made that much anymore. Like I played so much of that when they first came out. Like I that was kind of where, like, on the original Xbox and the GameCube, I played through all these games. I'm trying to think of the one that I played the most. I think it was one of the first Baldur's Gate beat 'em up ones, but it could have been maybe the Gauntlet Dark something or other. I'm terrible with names all of a sudden. I can't think of names.
Marvel Ultimate
Ultimate Alliance that came
Alliance,
out in last generation. Yeah, that was a lot of fun too. That would be a lot of fun. JB in the chat room says, hopefully this will be a use for all of our extra bases. That would be awesome if you could have.
I have one right over here.
If you have a bunch hooked up and have a whole pile of characters on that would be great. But either or maybe even a combination of both with like something that's kind of an upgraded Kiln. I guess Toy Box Takeover was kind of an upgraded Kiln, sort of, but maybe something along those lines with Marvel characters. But then maybe incorporating some beat 'em up stuff into it as well. It's great. Matt Master 1000 says they're showing it off on Saturday, not Sunday. Okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The question I have is that it goes back to that oh good lord, Toy Box Takeover. Someone said once you complete the Toy Box Takeover in the hub, you get an island floating somewhere.
Oh really?
Somebody had told me that once.
I haven't.
I wonder if anybody else has heard that.
I haven't noticed it, but yeah, I don't really look.
Because I completed it, and I don't know if they mean you have to get all the sidekicks from it.
Right. Yeah, because you can replay that a whole pile of times to get all the sidekicks. Maybe it does. Maybe it makes a floating island with that building on top of it, so you don't have to go into Toy Box Takeover to do that. Because I think that gets unlocked as a toy that you can add to your Toy Box, right?
Ooh,
I believe.
No, I'd have to look.
Yeah, I'd have to double check. Yeah, it looks
like you get Merlin's Tower in the hub. That's what Romulus is saying.
Okay, so there's going to be a panel at New York Comic Con. It's called Facing Off in Marvel's.
Oh, boondoggle. I'm sorry.
Beat Inside Out and you get Riley's Island. Ah, okay. That makes sense.
Thank
So the panel at New York Comic Con is called Facing Off in Marvel's Battlegrounds, and it's going to be at 4 p.m. on Saturday, the 10th of October. So yeah, it is on Saturday, and that is going to be awesome. I can't wait to hear more
know if
about
they're
that.
streaming that?
Oh, doesn't say. I would be surprised if they were, but there'll probably be some Periscopers there, I'm sure.
I'll be looking for that on Periscope.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I think double check. I think Jason's going to be there from Infinity Inquirer.
Oh, cool. We'll have to hit him up for sure.
Yeah, excellent. Absolutely.
Nice. All right. So any other Disney Infinity 3.0 thoughts before we move on? You've played a lot of downloadable toy boxes on
Yes.
while you're eating cereal for breakfast. So what are your thoughts on the quality of boxes so far? I've messed around with probably a half dozen, and I've been pleasantly surprised, actually.
Okay, let's put it this way. I submitted a box with my team,
Okay.
and the competition is amazeballs. Oh my gosh. I sit there and I play and I'm just in awe. And I've discovered that I might not be the best toy box builder, but I'm an even worse toy box player.
Nice. Well,
So I'm living up to the bad gamer.
they say
title.
the first thing is accepting your faults. So there you go. That's a good step in the right
Yes.
direction. Yeah, I've been messing around a fair bit in the toy box, and I make something that I think's impressive, and my kids love it, and it's great. And then I go play a downloaded toy box, and I'm just like, huh. All right, gonna delete that now. It's just I'm not at the same level as a lot of the people out there that are making these boxes. It's it definitely is something that takes a lot of practice, and I have mad respect for everybody that is submitting some of these amazing toy boxes out there. You guys are geniuses. So
Yes.
I'm super happy that you're making content for this game I love, so that I can play stuff that is better than I can make personally. So it's always good to download a toy box and just be amazed.
When I'm in the Toys to Life aisles at stores and people like I'll sit there, I'll tell people, like, I'll be looking at another game that's across the aisle and somebody's buying Disney Infinity and I'll say best game ever. And they'll say, really, why? And I'll talk to them about it.
Yeah.
And they say, well, I have to build stuff. I was like, no, you can download stuff.
Yeah.
That other people that are amazing at it. I've got friends that build this stuff. I know people that have gotten jobs working for the company because they build this stuff. You could buy this one game and not play any other game for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You could. Don't do that, but you could.
You definitely could. No, and I've had the same conversation with a lot of parents as well. Like with Lego Dimensions coming on the market, and with Skylanders, the new version of that coming out, a lot of people are saying, "Well, what should we buy?" And I have to say Disney Infinity. Like you have to have Disney Infinity, mainly because of toy boxes. Like you play Lego Dimensions and you beat the main game, and it takes 20 hours, but then that's it. Like you have to wait for new content to be made the following year, or wait for other figures to come out in months and months and months. Well, that's fun. It's better to have a game where you can play in, build in, make stuff in, download other stuff. If you're not as technically proficient as some of the people out there, you can pretty much not have to do anything other than play content, and that is great. You don't have to make stuff, you don't have to do it. It's very similar to Mario Maker in that way, where there's just an endless amount of content out there to play. So you can play the game, you can beat all the levels that it ships with, you can make your own levels and have fun with that, or you can just play an endless collection of levels that other people are building. This is the Toys to Life version of that, where there's just an endless amount of content out there, which is great. So yeah, I agree with you. Disney Infinity is definitely the number one for the Toys to Life genre. Definitely.
And that's not to say that I won't get any other Toys to Life.
Yeah.
But I have to. Honestly, there has to be a major sale, or I have to have gotten to the point where I think I've completed enough to put it aside for a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
And by the time that happens, Disney Infinity 4.0 will be out.
Totally. And like I've owned Skylanders for a few generations. I'm not buying this one. I don't like the gimmick with the vehicles and stuff like that. So thankfully I was able to fill that hole with another game that I can play and enjoy and stuff, while still keeping Disney Infinity at the top of the playlist. So
Right.
it's it's great. Like as a parent and seeing my kids do stuff in the game, it's like watching them play Minecraft. Like my kids will play Minecraft and they'll build the weirdest, hugest, most amazing buildings. And they're doing it on their PlayStation 3. And then the big TV frees up because I'm not watching hockey. And they jump into Disney Infinity and make the biggest and weirdest and most awesome building. And I'm just like, they're doing the same thing in different games. And it's awesome, and I love watching them do it. I wish I was that creative. When you get old, I guess your creativity disappears a little bit. So it's fun having kids to kind of rekindle some of that light and passion for making stuff in video games.
Absolutely. Junior is my Disney Infinity buddy. Creative Bacon is my Minecraft girl, and she. Oh my gosh, she builds stuff. I try to tell her, honey, what you can do in Minecraft, I want to see what you can do in Disney Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
I want to set you up with some logic toys.
Sure.
And go see what she can do, because she's amazing at that stuff. But Junior is my Disney Infinity guy, and he puts down the little toy thing. The toy dispenser.
Oh yeah, the capsule dispenser. Yep. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, he just whoop, I'm gonna put this here. Whoop, I'm gonna put this there.
Yeah, that's a great addition this year as well. Like if you don't know what to do, you put it down and you make your own fun without having to go through the menu and pick items and things like that. That's another. There's so many great additions that they've done this year in the game. I really dig it.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. Well, I don't know. Unless you have anything else to add, I think that's going to about do it for episode 107, Lem.
Yeah. Just join me for Breakfast with the Bad Gamer on DisneyInfinity.tv, Twitch, Disney Infinity, Switch, where you are right now.
Jason says, "Do it."
Oi.
Yeah.
Oh my
Such a
God.
great thing. I got to find a place for this that won't scare my children. So it's going to be maybe behind a bookshelf would be the one place that I could hang it up and not scare my children.
Oh, I want one to scare my children.
Nice.
We have as you know, I went to Ringling Brothers Clown College,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a face mold of myself.
Oh, jeez.
And we ended up for making noses.
Sure.
And we ended up painting it my skin tone. And the game around the house is to put it in places to scare people.
That is both awesome and disturbing, Lem. And I think it's more awesome than disturbing, though, so that's okay.
Yeah, and everybody gets into it. My middle daughter is the one who gets into it the most, because you'll hear her when she finds it, because it's not a scream, it's a "Grr!" And then she'll bring it down and hand it to me. I was like,
That's great. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
yeah.
All right. So, Lem, thanks for joining us for yet
Thanks for
another
having
episode of the Inside Infinity podcast. Thanks to everybody that's been hanging out with us in the chat room. We appreciate your support, and we couldn't do it without you. So we love that you guys join us each and every week here on the live stream. Don't worry, Will be back next week, unless he decides to not come home. Then he won't be back next week, but he should be.
I've set him up with some friends there.
Oh, okay. So maybe he won't be coming back then.
It's true.
Awesome. Well, that's going to about do it for episode number 107 of the Inside Infinity podcast. So have a great night, everybody, and we'll talk to you in about a week's time, everybody. All right, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for checking out the Inside Infinity show. If you want to find out more about the show, you can do it in a bunch of different ways. Head on over to DisneyInfinity.tv for all of that fun stuff. You can follow us on Twitter, Disney Infinity TV, and we'd love to say a huge thank you out to all of our patrons over at patreon.com/DisneyInfinity.tv. If you've been wondering about a way to support the team, that is one great way to go and check that out. You can follow us on Facebook. We're at DisneyInfinity.tv, so facebook.com/group/DisneyInfinityTV. And of course, subscribe on this channel for more, but also subscribe to the channel of our parent network, that is Rezzed.tv or youtube.com/RezzTV, with lots of video gamey and geeky goodness there on the Rezzed TV network.